In this presentation, we'll be looking at the different modes on a Cisco 2500 series router. Cisco modes are built on a hierarchy of privilege, and for security purposes, Cisco routers have two levels of access to commands: the user mode, the privileged mode. And from the privileged mode, you can access modes such as the global configuration mode and other specific modes that include the interface, the router, and the line. The user mode allows typical tasks that includes those that checks the router status. In this mode, router configuration changes are not allowed. To enter the user mode login, just press enter and then a password if one is required. In this mode, you can show, ping, trace route, connect, and disconnect, telnet, enable, log in, exit, and log out. Notice that the router prompt is the host name of the router with the greater than sign. And if we type in the question mark, we can see a list of all the commands available in this mode. Next, you have the privileged mode. Here you're allowed typical tasks that includes those that change the router's configuration. To enter the privileged mode from the user mode, we type enable or EN and then press enter. Then we type in a required password if one is set. In this mode, you can show complete configuration information, configure global parameters, configure interface parameters, configure routing engine, manage the flash file system, debug problems, manage the iOS image, manage users, manage terminal access plus all the user mode commands. Again, if you type in the question mark, you get a listing of all the commands available at this mode. From the privileged mode, you can access the global configuration mode by typing in either config or the complete command to enter the area you're wanting to configure. If you type in configure or just config, you're asked for what level of the global configuration mode you want to configure. If you accept the default in brackets, you're taken to the terminal mode of global configuration. And if you type in the question mark, you'll get a listing of all the commands that you can run at this mode. Here you can set the clock, set the host name, or you can configure a banner to be displayed at login. To log out of the config mode, we type either Control-Z or exit. From here, we can type disable or return to the user mode or type exit to completely log out. Remember that the user mode is also known as the show mode, and no configuration of the router is allowed. Remember that the privileged exec mode is used to configure the router, and that the global configuration mode configures settings that affect all interfaces of the router, such as the password, the banner, the host name, and the